I'm trying to think. Nothing bad happened since I saw you last. Nobody died. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. It's already ridiculous. Here's the sun. I have not yet figured out how to work with the sunlight here, or the skylight. So we're just gonna. Are you okay? That's Pops. He had a dental the other day, so his trachea is still, they tube him, so he's still having some discomfort. I have 2 former foster dogs that are here for 10 days while their parents are out of country, so it's ridiculous over here right now, but we're okay. This is episode 148. I've kind of given up on naming them anything because I'm just like, what is this one about? I don't know. Who knows? Knitting. This is a knitting channel. Are you okay? Can you see them? Sleeping down there next to each other? It's Brody and Pops. I said his name. Okay. Let's just get into what is happening. What I'm wearing, this is Isabelita by Casapinka. It is a $7 pattern, I believe. And it looks like this. I'm sure you've seen it. It's beautiful, kind of Spanish inspired, I think. Really cute. I did this with something I told you about last time, which is the Fa La 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 colorway from the Sheepyshire, which it is a sock set, but I was wrong in how it came. It's one 100 gram skein, and then 2 minis. So there's a pink mini and a green mini, and the pink and green is over the undyed with speckles. So some of this is just the color, and some of it is like this. These stripes are the color, and then the rest of it is just in with the thing. I did a different border because this colorway just screamed spring to me, even though it's a Christmas colorway. So for all the things, some of them are the main color, so you can't really see them. And then some of them were the minis. And then I did this, I don't even know where I found this. It might be in my thing. The bind off was like a flower, a pink flower, and then these like green leaf, whatever. I was looking at the thing and it looked like a flower, and I was like, oh, that's cute. So I did a different bind off. I don't think these are up for sale right now, but they are around Christmas time, and she does have some lovely purpley like hydrangea things, I think. I just saw some purple ones on her thing, and I was like, I don't need purple right now. I'm trying to not buy yarn unless it's for a specific purpose, because we moved, right? Which means I had to pack up and move my craft yarn, my craft room, and I have a craft room, and it used to double as my bedroom, but now I have a bedroom and a craft room. And in my craft room, I have a yarn wall, which when I get the room, it's a mess right now because we haven't fully moved in. But I have a yarn full of a wall full of yarn, and I haven't even, it's together, but it's not organized because I have a bunch of yarn still in bags and boxes. So anyway, when you move, when you have to pack up your craft room and take down your yarn wall and move it to a different county, you're kind of like, maybe I have too much stuff. Maybe you do. Maybe you need to sit down, take a look at your life and go, how old am I and how many years do I have left where I will still be able to, there is not a fly in here. I can hear it buzzing. Oh, I hate that. Do you hate that? I hate that. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, what do they call that? Something about beyond life expectancy. Like your to be read pile, right? Your to be read and to be knitted pile are the same. Shall we move on to whips? He is not eating an antler, the big dog's antler, and he just got his dental. Sir. He's got like no teeth left in his head. He's probably using his like 2 molars that he's got left. Did you want that thing? I'm just gonna let him. Who cares? Okay, so my only whip. I mean, I have 3 current whips, but this is the only one I've touched. Stephen West Stash Bust Along. I've been making the exploration station. Am I showing you the right side? Yes, I am. So I'm on the very last section, which are the chevrons. And I just had to frog 2 1.5 repeats because something messed up somewhere. So here's what I had to do. I'm going to show you my notes. So these are my, of course you can't see them. Oh my God. Why do I bother? Oh, if I go this far back, you can see. So there are actual 9, not repeats. One is the first 2 rows of the gray color. Then the first is like what you do. And then there's 7 repeats. But it's a total of 9. 9 times you do it. So sometimes I have to rewrite because when I count it, I read my work. That's how I work. I read my work. So that's how I tell where I am most of the time. So I had to figure out how many holes I had, 9, because it's a total of 9 times you do this. And then I counted the stitches you have between the end and the marker on both sides. You work some and then there's a marker, and then the marker is where the pattern repeats, right? This number of stitches and this number of stitches do not add up. There is a 4-stitch difference. So I wanted to keep track of, when I did a repeat, how many were on here, because this is going to tell me if I take this number and this number and then the number of holes, that's going to tell me, number 1, where I am in the pattern. And 2, if I'm messing up anything. Because one of my things was wrong, and I was like, hold on. So I had to write it all down. I wrote it all down. And then had to take a whole repeat and then half of a repeat. So it's fixed now. I am on 5. So I have 5s. No, I'm on, 5th. So I have 5th, 6th, and 7th. So I only have 3 repeats left. That means I have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. Okay, so I have 3 repeats left, and then the bind off, and then I'll block it. So this will definitely be done next week. And next week, or next time. I thought for sure I'd have this done already, but losing Lola really distracted me from working. And I mean, obviously I started this, and once I got like past the brioche, this was really mind numbing, and this was mind numbing. And this is actually, you count to either 6 or 13, and you don't really have to count to the 13. But this was like boring, and this was boring. So once I got to this was fun because these were when you go back and forth, not side stitches. When you go back and forth, wrap and turn, wrap and turn. Short rows, these are short rows. And that's how you get the hole. You just stop and turn. You don't even gotta do nothing. You don't gotta do a German short row or a wrap and turn or nothing. You just stop. I love the hole. I love the hole. It's like a deconstructed, like an old worn out. I absolutely love it. I would, if I was a better designer, I would make something like with these and with drop stitches that looked like Les Mis or something, like poor and dirty and raggedy and, you know, deconstructed. But I love how it's coming out. Everything's fine. I love it. It's great. Whatever. I just kind of want to be done with it and move on to new things. Isn't that weird? Like, you're still going to be knitting. Why does it matter what you finish, right? I don't think it does. Okay, so should we go to Squishy Mail? I don't know how I'm going to show this thing to you because it is a clear ruler. This is from Ann Budd Knits. It is called the Handy Gauge Ruler. And this is so fun because I'm sure I'm not alone in absolutely hating checking gauge, right? I don't mind making the gauge swatch, but I don't like I gotta take my glasses off. I gotta turn on my light and shine my light on it, and then I gotta take my little the stitch picker upper thing, because the one stitch has the crochet hook on it and the other stitch is just a pointer, and I use that with my ruler, and I get 4 inches, right, and line it up in the 4 inches, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, or you go 1, 2, 3, 4, right, which I hate doing. So this is so neat because, should I find something black? Do I have something black to hold up? It has 2 colors. It has white and black, but I'm going to show you the white first. So it shows you could just line this up, okay? Because when you make your gauge swatch, you're going to be doing in stockinette, right? So these V's, you just like put it on your work until it superimposes on your work. And then it tells you, you don't even have to count. You don't have to count nothing. You don't count nothing. I'm so excited to use this. I don't have any stockinette that I can put it on. I like that there's black and white. Can you see that there's also black? No, you can't, because it's blown out. So it's also black. So you can virtually any color. I was so excited when I saw it had white ones and it had white marks, because I'm like, oh my god, everything I do is black, right? Because it's 1 inch, you still have to do the math of your 4 inches, right? Or your 10 centimeters, whichever. But I thought that was great because I don't want to have to. Then you just check. So it is easier to know what you're going for and see if you made it. And if you didn't, then you're in trouble. This is like $5. It was not even expensive. Was it $5? How much was this? I don't usually ever tell you guys what I pay for things because I'm embarrassed by how much I pay for things because I'm ridiculous. I will pay too much money for things I don't need. $5. Shipping was $1.50. Anyway, what'd I say? Ann Bud Knits Handy Gauge Ruler. I had not seen anyone else talking about this, and I am like just beside myself with how easy this is to just lay it down and go, you know, what's your 4? So if it's 4x4, that's going to be 4. So it starts with 4 stitches per inch, and it goes down to 9 stitches per inch. So that's right where I normally am. So fingering to DK, right? Because no, 4 times 4, that's 16. That's 16. So that would be a bulky, right? Probably not a. Do you always get confused with the bulky and the chunky and the whatever the heck comes after worsted and Aran? Whatever. Okay. That's my handy dandy thing that's going to go in my other thing now that I've shown it to you. Okay, so it's May. So new projects, right? Because I'm almost done with Exploration Station. What am I going to do next? Well, I have the 2 whips. I have the Italuna shawl that has the head hole, and I have just that double layer hat I'm working on. So I was trying to figure out what I want to do for May. So I don't really know if I'm going to finish those other projects right now because it's May and those feel like winter projects, and it's May. So let's work on some summer stuff, right? Growing out your hair is terrible, and I don't ever recommend doing it, ever. Just don't cut your hair. Just leave it. The next thing on my list, what I'm thinking of doing, is a project called Sleeves by Mary Annarella. And it is a shawl with sleeves. It's like a little, almost like a cardigan. But you can wear it the other way. You can you don't have to wear it like a cardigan. You could do like this or go like this. And you have sleeves. So you have sleeves. There's another picture. You have sleeves with a nice, you can leave it open. You can do that with a shawl pin. Looks really nice. So I was like, this sounds cute, right? Here's it just open. Very, very pretty. And I wear a lot of dresses in the summer, so I just thought this with my dresses would be pretty. The pattern is $7.99 on Ravelry. That's US dollars. It calls for lace, but it's with a 4mm. So I don't do lace at a 4mm. So I was going to do fingering. And I have this that I made a couple years ago that just did not look right on me at all. It's a little summer top. This is crocheted. I forget what it is. Did not work out. So other than the I-cord, I have so many skeins of this. Like so many. And that's not even... There's more. So I don't know what the yardage is. This is a Malabrigo Machita, and there is 420 yards, and I have at least 3 of these. I'm pretty sure there are 3. And this calls for 870 to 930. So 480 is 840. So plus an entire extra 420. So I'll have more than enough. I thought I might even make the sleeves longer. I'm not sure because those are like 3. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I have so much of this and I wanted just a cover up for summer. That's all I wanted, was something I could put on if I was wearing something that would cover my belly. If I was going to wear something. But I'm dressing differently now than I was when I made this, because of the menopause weight gain that is ruining my life and making nothing fit me. So I just decided to do this color because most of my dresses are black, so it'll look nice with black. I can't believe the difference in the colors in these 3 skein. It's just, I don't use Malabrigo very often because the colors are so unreliable from skein to skein, even within the same dye lots. So it's not my favorite thing to use, but for just a cover up, I think it's fine. This is Violin, I think, wasn't it? I went out of my way to buy this. Yeah, Violin, no dye lot. Ain't that the truth? Because they won't match. So I have so much of that left. I'd like to then I don't have to worry about, if I don't have to buy new stuff. I don't have to worry if I'm going to run out. I have plenty. Plus, it's really a pretty purple, pink, blue, and then undyed in different various shades of those colors. Very just pretty. Look good with black. Brighten it up a little bit. Okay, so that is what I'm planning on starting when I'm done with this. There's also a couple other things I wanted to make. I gave away my favorite lace shawl, so I wanted to make another one. So I have this undyed. This is platinum sock from Wool to Die For. It is 462, 63, or 64 yards, depending on when you buy it. The yardage is always changing on it. See, I think I just looked at it as 462 on my bag, but I haven't bought in a while. This is one of my favorite bases because of the yardage. It makes a thinner, what would they call this? Because fingering weight comes in a range. You can get like 400. I've seen even in the high 3s, 400, 420, 436, then the 460 are generally, I think, the most. Usually it's different if you have a smaller mill. Like I can usually tell where dyers get their bases by what their yardage is. And some of them I don't know at all. So if I don't know at all, then it's typically a local mill that they work with. This is Wool to Die For. Right, so I need to dye black, and I'm going to remake my lace shawl. And then what I wanted to do, which I'm not going to do with this yet, but I wanted to make another shawl, but I've done a series of top-down triangles that I really liked, but I don't wear them except for the lace version because the other ones are too small. So what I wanted to do is, I think I'm going to take those down, take them apart, unravel them, and then I'm going to make a crescent shape, and I'm going to make a half circle shape, and see which one of those I prefer wearing. and between the triangle, because I like triangle, but it's a little, sometimes it gets a little too long, and then I'm like, ugh. So I love just using one skein, of yarn. It's my favorite to do. One end, two ends to weave in, a beginning and an end to weave in, and that's it. No cutting, no nothing. You just work till you're out. That's why I like to go by weight, change things by weight. So I have a basic crescent shawl that I'm going to work on, and then a half circle basic recipe to get that shape that I'm going to work on the other one. And then these are going to be black, and I'm going to make them just like my lace shawl, the Michelle, which is top down with lace and stocking net. I want to do lace and stocking net for all three, but I only have a pattern made for the top down triangle, so I want to do crescent, half circle. So if you have a good basic crescent and half circle that you use, why don't you drop that in? And then I'm going to figure out how to work out the math on how to get even thing. Actually, I might look for ones that might already be there. I don't know, because I don't know which ones I like to wear, and how I want to wear them. And I have all of the, I just want to use up my single really nice, skeins that are just singles that I only have one of. And if there's two colors that I want to mesh together, I'll do the All About That Brioche shawl, which I love. And then, what I really liked? I really liked doing this circle part here. And I'm like, I would love to make a half circle just doing this part. And I'm pretty sure you just put out one called the Remnants or something. That was just for stash, for you're using up your leftovers. So I have a book out about brioche. So I was just gonna follow that because it has how to do the increases. I just need to know where and how often to do the increases, because if it's a triangle shawl, it's 2 on the end and 2 in the middle. It's just 4 to make the triangle. Very easy, and I start everything with a garter tab cast on, but it's a modified garter tab cast on that I came up with. So crescent shawls I haven't been too keen on, because when I wear them, the tab part always looks odd. This middle part always looks like a bubble or something, and I get annoyed by it. But I watched a YouTube video about how to make a garter tab cast on there. Pretty sure it's in my suggested videos if you care to look, because that's what I do so I don't lose them. I put them in there. So I was going to do that and do the crescent, and then figure out half circle, how to do the half circle. I know it's out there. And try those shells, just because I'm kind of needing a more creative outlet. I really like designing things and figuring them out and then doing what I want to do. And I have this fascination with one skein shawls, stretching the yardage for a nice sized shawl, because I hate weaving in ends. I want to weave in an end and a beginning, and that's it. And I don't want to weave in any more than that. I don't want to have to cut. Cutting yarn gives me anxiety. All of these ends here, anxiety. And I do them as I go, and I still get anxiety. Still anxiety from it. These are all ready to go, because I weave in, I block, and then I cut after I've blocked. So everything's woven in except for, the last color, because I was waiting for the last gray to be done, and then I can do everything. I'll I'll do that before the bind off to give me a break before the bind off. Yeah. Oh, I have one more thing. Viola headband mohair edition. It has a twist in the front and decorative braids all the way around. It is one size. It is knit on 4mm. So this you use a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair lace. I'll show you what it looks like. This. It's just a pretty little twisted headband. I love mohair. I love mohair. It's my favorite. These are so cute. I can't stand it. I love the braid on it and everything. Like I just can't. This is $5.06 in US dollars. So this is some yak blend from Wool to Die For. I forget what it's called. Yak something. It's fingering weight. It smells delicious. So I love using this. I haven't used it a lot because the color, you're going to get a darker color, so it scares me because this is hard to dye too, because this is easy to dye. This is superwash. You can do anything to it and it'll come out exactly how you want. It's foolproof. This stuff, the problem with this is that these are two different fibers. So you have this thread of silk, right? That's what you see. The fluffy is the mohair. So they are spun together. They don't take dye at the same rate or the same time or concentration. So a lot of times my fluff is not the same color as my silk. A lot of times. So, and no one ever talks about that. But it's a real thing. I don't have a problem dyeing black. You just put enough black on it, it'll soak it up and they'll both be black, which is what I'm planning to do. I'm also just going to put black on this and they will match and you won't even know they were ever a different color. But this is real fun because you can go lighter and you get almost a heathered, you can get a heathered if you go light enough. It's a really fun base to play around with because you're going to get a toning down of the color because of the brown. This can't be 50. This is 50 grams. This can't be 50. This looks like almost a full skein, and it doesn't matter. I have to hank them up. I have to put them on my Swift and get them into hanks so they can dye without resist, because you cannot dye in a cake like this. It won't work. But I wanted to make the headband earlier and I just never got around to it. I want to have it done by fall. So this will be at some point a summer project because it'll be quick and it'll be done. But I'm probably going to dye it when I dye everything. And I'm not sure when I'm going to dye for the black lace because I don't know if I'm going to want to do the crescent and the half circle first because it's going to depend on where my brain is and what it wants to do. And a lot is going to depend on when I'm done with Exploration Station and see where I'm at there. I also have, and this is not squishy mail because this is old. I got this a few years ago as a door prize. It's from Yarn Over New York, which I assume is still in business. This is Times Square 6 set. These are 20 gram minis, 92 yards each. It's almost rainbow. It's not my favorite rainbow. It's a pastel rainbow, which is weird because this orange and yellow are a little too bright or dark to be, and the blue is a little too light. Like these three. The pink, the green, and the purple are very, very pastel, and then these three are just not. because this should be peach, this should be like a baby duck, and this should be like a baby blue, and they're not. So I haven't really been sure what I wanted to do with this, but because rainbow, I'm trying to decide if I want to just make it up as something to like donate somewhere, for like raffles or something, maybe for gays or something, since June is coming, or if I wanted to over dye it and make something else. The problem with that is it's all speckled red. So if I over dye, that's going to mess that up. So I'm not quite sure what I'd rather not do anything to it, but I don't know what to do with it if I don't change anything. I don't know what to, because it's a weird rainbow, and I don't know what to do with it. It just looks like an ice cream cone, doesn't it? I think I get distracted when I look at it and go, what do I want to do with this? And I just see ice cream cone. I did plan to make a shawl, just a regular shawl. Just start with the pink and just go until I ran out, and donate it to one of my favorite organizations that is more local to me, and just give it to them, and if they wanted to raffle it off or if they wanted to keep it as a gift, they could. So I might do that. That's what I'm leaning towards. Unless you have any ideas for a 6-colored rainbow that isn't exactly rainbow. 6 minis. I'm always not sure what to make with minis because I don't work with minis, because that's 12 ends to weave in. We know how I feel about that, don't we? We're like, 12 ends? Not sure about that at all. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I kind of just want to work with a rainbow. Like, I want to just do something rainbow. I just want to, I don't know, do something rainbow. So that's my plan for May. Yeah, it's been quiet here, nothing going on. Just trying to heal from Lola. Have you seen this? That's all new. I think what happened was I had surgery, and then my dogs kept dying, and I just keep getting more and more white. Did you ever notice that when people get to a certain age and then stressful things happen, like it just seems like they age really super fast? I feel like I'm aging super fast. I feel like I wasn't old, and then now I'm old. Menopause is the frickin' worst. The worst. And I have to wait another month. I have to have a second clear mammogram before I can go on the hormones. So pain in the ass. I'm like sweating all the time. I was yesterday. It was like 70 degrees, and I'm like, why is it 8,000 degrees? And my husband's like, it's like 75, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot. It's the worst. It is the absolute worst. Okay, I'm getting hungry. I need to eat. That's the show today. Maybe I'll put something about plans for May or something. whatever. I'm not a millennial, so I don't do the May, like the NSYNC, or is it NSYNC? Whatever. I'm old. I'm Gen X. I don't remember. The boy bands passed me by, because the boy bands I was into were like Duran Duran and Poison and Motley Crue. That's the boy bands I liked. And they weren't like dancey. They wore makeup and had big hair, and they were amazing. Probably Def Leppard might be my favorite. I'm not sure I would count Def Leppard as a boy band. But whatever. I didn't do the NSYNC and the Backstreet Boy who are they? New Kids on the Block. Oh my God, my friends were obsessed with New Kids on the Block, and I was like, have you heard the new Duran Duran? I was forever into 80s music. I loved 80s music forever. And then in middle school, I remember U2 had a big album out. So that's where I was. I'm trying to think. And then when grunge hit, it was all over. Everything was grunge. But not Nirvana. I was Pearl Jam. Actually, I was Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains was my favorite. And then Pearl Jam. I hated Soundgarden. And I hated Nirvana. I loved the Smashing Pumpkins. The Smashing Pumpkins might have been my favorite. When I was in high school, yeah, I remember Tool, 9 Inch Nails, blew everything away. And then when I found Type O Negative, that was it. Didn't want to hear anything else. Except for like Depeche Mode, Skinny Puppy. Yeah. I'm old. I am so old. I'm so old. Anyway. Whatever. What is the alternative, right? Anyway, all right. I'm really curious to see what my whips are when I see you next time, because I don't actually have, it could be something I haven't even thought of. Maybe tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and something is going to come out that's amazing, and I'm going to have to make it right away. That like never happens, but we'll see. Okay. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Let me know what you're making. What do you have like stuff for summer that you're really excited to make? Is there any pattern coming out that you're really excited for? Please talk to me. Most of the people that I watched before aren't on now, except for like Leslie Friend is still on. I just watched her. She was in France. Whatever. The Bordeaux color she got at that shop in Bordeaux. To do the Darcy cardigan. Holy crap. I'm like, I might have to make a Darcy that is Bordeaux color, because I'm like, that sounds amazing. I need one of those, like, for sure. But the buttons that match, I'm dying. I am dying over the mohair, the other yarn, whatever, and the matching buttons. I'm so jealous. So freaking jealous. I don't think I've ever been jealous of someone's project before. She hasn't even started yet. She just like, I got this. And I'm like, I want all of that crap. I want all of that crap right now. So I gotta find, I can dye that myself. I just have to, I won't have buttons. But I'm like a very deep purpley burgundy cardigan, I think is necessary in every wardrobe. So I want one. Okay. Anyway, now I'm sure for sure she doesn't watch me, but if you watch Leslie Friend, you're probably also jealous of that project. Oh my God. So beautiful. So just beautiful yarn. Beautiful. I'm going to have to like figure out the percentage to get the color that I want. Because I've made burgundy, but not that exact color. That color was like a more purpley, reddish, really, really dark, really dark, really dark. I'm going to have to write that down before I forget it, that I want to do that. Anyway, I got to get out of here. I'm starving and it's lunchtime. Okay. I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.